Picture this. You've got $5,000 sitting in your investment account. You worked hard for that money. And then one morning, you wake up, check your phone, and the market is down 15%. Your chest tightens, your hands get sweaty, and you do what feels like the smartest, most responsible thing in the world. You pull everything out. You tell yourself, I'm being careful. I'm protecting what I earn. But here's the thing nobody warns you about. That one decision, made in pure panic, probably cost you more money than the crash ever did. And the worst part? You'll likely never even connect the dots. We love to believe we're logical with money. We compare prices, we read reviews, we run the numbers. But neuroscience tells a completely different story. There's a psychological concept called loss aversion. And what it basically says is this. Losing $100 feels almost twice as painful as gaining $100 feels good. Your brain isn't wired for building wealth. It's wired for survival. And back when we were living in caves, losing your food supply meant you didn't make it through winter. So your brain learned to treat every loss like a life or death situation. Fast forward to today, that same ancient instinct is quietly sabotaging your financial future. One fearful decision at a time. Let's break down 3 fear-based money mistakes that are costing everyday Americans thousands of dollars, without them even realizing it. Mistake number 1, selling when the market drops. Here's something the headlines never remind you of. The S&P 500 has crashed dozens of times over the past century. The dot-com bubble, the 2008 financial crisis, the COVID crash in 2020, and every single time, it came back stronger than before. But when the red numbers start flashing, fear takes the wheel. People sell. They lock in their losses, and then they sit on the sidelines watching the market recover without them. Think of it this way. Say you bought a house for $300,000. The housing market dips, and a neighbor tells you it's worth $240,000 on paper right now. Would you immediately put up a for sale sign? Of course not. You'd wait it out. But somehow, with stocks, the moment things get uncomfortable, we run. Mistake number 2, keeping everything in a savings account because it feels safe. A savings account giving you 1 to 2% interest feels secure. No volatility, no stress, no risk. But here's the quiet killer. Inflation in America typically runs around 3 to 4% per year, which means your money sitting in that account is actually losing purchasing power every single year. You're not protecting your money. You're slowly watching it shrink, just in a way that doesn't show up on any screen. Mistake number 3, waiting for the perfect moment to invest. Fear whispers, what if I put my money in and it drops tomorrow? So you wait for things to calm down. You wait for certainty, but certainty never comes. Study after study shows that time in the market almost always beats timing the market. Someone who invested $500 every month for 20 years without overthinking it almost always ends up ahead of the person who kept waiting for the right moment that never arrived. Here's the deeper truth that most people miss. Fear doesn't just make you lose money in the moment. It actually rewires the way you think about money over time. Every time you make a fear-based decision and nothing catastrophic happens, your brain logs it as a win. It learns that playing defense is smart. It builds a habit of shrinking instead of growing, protecting instead of building, and the cost goes beyond just dollars. Because people who are constantly afraid of losing money never fully enjoy the process of building it. They live in a constant state of anxiety. One market dip away from panic mode. The wealthiest people aren't smarter than you. They don't have better stock tips or secret information. They've just built a healthier relationship with uncertainty. They've learned to sit with discomfort without making impulsive decisions. So, what do you actually do differently? First, separate your safety money from your growth money. Keep 3 to 6 months of living expenses in a high-yield savings account. That's your emergency cushion. That money is allowed to just sit there. Everything beyond that should be put to work. Second, automate your investments. Set up automatic contributions to your 401k or index funds every single month. When you remove the decision from the equation, you remove the emotion too. You stop reacting to every headline and every market swing. And third, reframe how you think about market drops. A drop only becomes a real loss when you sell. Until then, it's just a temporary discount on assets you already own. Volatility isn't a sign that something is wrong. It's the price of admission for long-term wealth building. Every investor pays it. The ones who come out ahead are simply the ones who don't let it scare them into quitting. The market will crash again. Maybe next month, maybe next year. Nobody knows, but it will happen. And when it does, every instinct in your body will tell you to get out, to protect yourself, to wait until things feel safe again. In that moment, the most powerful financial move you can make is also the simplest one. Do nothing, because sometimes the most expensive thing you can do with your money is let your fear make the decisions.